Papa Powell comes in, raises interest rates, drives the market into the floor, rug pulls everybody in the stock market down 22%, real estate market, who knows where it's going to go, down 30%, easy. What's up, everybody? Hope you're having a great day. So I just had to jump on here and vent, okay? I've had a long day in real estate, let me tell you. I got to tell you what has been going on with me the last 2 days. Yesterday I did a video on the mortgage lenders, mortgage brokers that are just getting laid off in the droves, okay? I did a whole video on that. I told you how I was in a deal. I just closed that deal today. I'll tell you about that in a second. The loan officer just got laid off along with everybody in the office. And this is happening all over the place. I got to tell you how that ended. I got to tell you what I went through yesterday. And I'm going to talk about Papa Powell, Jay Powell, aka Jerome Powell, and what he did yesterday to the housing market. I don't think people understand exactly what is going on here. This is history. This is craziness in the making. I got to vent on this because my head's about to explode. I tell you, today was a high blood pressure day in the real estate market and as a real estate agent on the Gulf Coast. And I want to tell you what happened. Let's get into it. Okay, as you know, yesterday I was driving to take little Jack to daycare. You know, he's just cruising in the back seat and I get a call from the loan officer and he's like, "Hey, Jack, just got laid off. I transfer your file over to another loan officer. I'm out of here. Pretty much everybody got laid off and everybody else is quitting. So good luck." And I was like, oh man, what's going to happen here? So we thought all the files were in. You know, this is leaving off from yesterday's video. We thought all the files were in. Everything was good to go. A lot of people don't know what agents go through to get these deals to the end. And if you've done enough real estate deals, you know that it can get intense. So basically we were like, well, what do you mean you don't have all the files? You had all the files yesterday. Well, of course, the agent or the loan officer couldn't figure it out. And it was almost like they didn't want to finish the loan, okay? Because they wanted a conference call with my client's HR representative to prove that he was coming here. And he was here and he had all the hotel bills saying he was here. And the reason why he hadn't moved here is he had to close the freaking house, okay? So it was so frustrating. And I wanted to just drive over to wherever they were with passport ID and say, this is who we are, and get us the house, okay? We drugged this thing all the way into this morning, and it came down to the wire, and we finally closed. And I'd never had a client scrutinize that much. And this is kind of like what's going on. The market is so scared of straw buyers right now. That is another video. You might be wondering why I'm making so many real estate videos right now. This is history in the making, okay? This is like the verge of 2008, watching the cookies crumble, okay? And I am looking at the market and like none of this makes any sense. Like right now, things are just sitting. Sellers agents are like texting you every morning trying to get you to bring a buyer. It is like cats and dogs, dogs and lions, meteors falling from the sky right now. And it's like, you know, the data, the stuff you hear on the internet is like, or on TV is not real agents out there right now. So you're asking like, where's this market going? Okay, me, Kevin, did an amazing video this morning and he showed this Excel spreadsheet, okay? I'm gonna talk about that in the video, this video. I'm gonna talk about that. And then at the end, I'm gonna give you a conclusion what I think is gonna happen and some more of what I've been seeing because it's sure chaos and when it pops in my head, I just gotta say it. We know for a fact we're seeing 8% interest rates real quick, okay? We just went up 0.75. We're probably going to go up again next month. And we know we're going to go up again at the beginning of the year, probably going to be max pain. Jay Powell came out yesterday and old dude in the crowd just like broke the market's face right in the middle or at the end of his speech. And he basically is like, hey, the market's up, you know, like, how do you think this is going to affect in the long run or whatever? And it was like, Papa Powell was like, I just got to break your tiny heart right here. And he was like, I am going to raise rates. This is pretty much what he said. This is like paraphrase. I'm going to raise rates until inflation is tamed. And I am not going to pivot. He just said, I ain't doing it. So what does that mean? That means he's going to keep raising rates. He's not going to go dovish or pivot or come off the gas pedal. He's going to break our face. He's going to break the stock market into oblivion, and that's going to echo down to the real estate market. So you might be saying, well, should I buy a house right now? I'm going to explain that at the end of the video. But I've got to lay out all the cookies for everybody to understand kind of the scenario that's going on. And I know I'm talking real loud, but I'm a little passionate and a little heated, and my blood pressure is still up from today. So think about it. We already got 24% contract cancellations across the board, 24%. Now, let's factor in all the stuff that goes on around that, okay? To get a house to the finish line, you've got to have the buyer, you've got to find the house, she got to be pre-qualified, qualified, and then you got to go through the inspection. It's got to pass a 4-point. It's got to bind insurance that's not astronomical, okay? We have to go through an appraisal process. We got to usher this thing for 30 days and nobody open a Home Depot card somewhere and run their credit. That's a joke. And then we got to have the title come back perfect, clean, warranty deed, sign on the dotted line, and actually get funded. And that's where it hurts, okay? That's where it hit me yesterday was not only did we get all the way to this point, and he was super qualified, everybody got laid off right at the end of the day. Like, everybody got laid off right before closing. And this is the third time it's happened to me. Happened to me a week ago, week and a half-ish, and where everybody got laid off, and all of a sudden the loan officer just didn't answer anymore. The underwriter was gone, and we had to switch gears, and a new person had to pick it up, and we were in a hurt. Well, it happened the exact same way yesterday. Okay, well, day before yesterday, but full pain was yesterday, max pain was today, and we ushered it across the finish line. Title company didn't know what was going on because the closing agent was like, from the loan side, was like, we're good to go, but the underwriter's still over there saying, I don't want to sign off on this. It was mind-boggling. Like, they even wanted us to send a dry copy on a piece of paper through overnight just to prove that the HR numbers were exactly what they said, even though HR had sent it over there and it was actually in email format with everything you could possibly think of. This is such an archaic system. So we know Poulter Group is basically saying, we don't care about our earnest money and deposits. We're forgetting about these building sites we were just fixing to do, these houses we were just fixing to throw up. We're going to eat that. We're going to write off on our taxes. The permit numbers for them are down, and home builders across the board are liquidating like we've never seen before, throwing all kinds of bells and whistles in there to get these properties off their books. I did 3, I think, videos on this entire subject. Check those out. I mean, I threw in all the data possible on this. I've thrown in all the data on all this stuff all the way up until now. The data is slow. We're talking a couple of months behind here when we're looking at these numbers. And even Papa Powell said it. Hey, look, I'm looking at these numbers and I'm going to keep crushing the market until inflation is at 2%. Now I'm going to walk you into that. 2% off of a CPI number of like 8.2, 8.4. It's gone nowhere in a year. Papa Powell said that. Or the inflation rate has not changed through all this hardly at all. And so when you say, well, should I wait to buy the house? It depends, okay? Interest rates are going to be higher next year than they are this year. There is no sign of them coming back down in the next year, year and a half. We are talking 6 to 12 quarters for these interest rates to filter through the system all the way down to the bottom level. They immediately pumped the brakes on the market last 0.75. The 0.75 on Wednesday, which was yesterday, that one's soaking in. Okay, so if you're binding a loan or you're actually getting qualified now to buy a house and you think of 1 point as 10% value on a house, things are changing very fast. Okay, not to mention the loan officers, you don't know if they're going to be there by the end of the deal. You don't know if insurance is going to bind on the house. If your house doesn't have a clean 4-point and in the state of Florida where your roof is less than 15 years old, I don't care what the warranty is on the shingles, it just blows my mind. These insurance companies are treating it like the plague. If it's got galvanized piping, it's got bad wiring, it's got any of these things, old hot water heaters that are across the board, it's cats and dogs out there, and it's really frustrating as a real estate agent when you're trying to do these deals and there's all these obstacles. And it's like the real estate agent is like the social worker trying to drag the lineman across the finish line with the football to get the touchdown, okay? And it is just wild out there. And I really think, you know, the deal yesterday with all the documents, there's so many straw buyers out there now, and especially when the interest rate are so strong and volatile that, you know, we're talking a big difference between bad credit and good credit and getting a house. And instead of having a co-signer, people are like shuffling things around and Airbnb them, and that's a whole nother story. That's a whole nother video. And I am not a loan officer. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just a dude that sells houses and that really likes real estate and really is into these things, and that's why I'm making this video. Let's think about it. 30 realtors a day in Las Vegas are turning in their shingles. 30 a day, okay? They're saying, I'm out. This is too hard. It's crazy. Nothing's happening. And, you know, it used to be where the sell side, these agents were walking around with their chest bowed out, and the buy side agents were like the black swans. Now all of a sudden, it's like, hey, bro, you got a buyer? You know, and all of a sudden the whole script has changed. If you've got buyers and you are bringing buyers and you've got money, people want to do a deal now. They're wanting to throw in roofs. They're wanting to fix things. They're wanting to buy down points. They're wanting to do credits. Like, there's so many things now that will make a bad deal a good deal. It's crazy. Like, the follow-up now, before they wouldn't even answer my call. A lot of people are saying that, hey, well, when I was young, interest rates were way higher than they are now, and I still bought. Well, those houses then were 18% on a $30,000 house. The deals now are like, we're seeing 8%, we're gonna see 10%, we're gonna see 11% on the average house being 600,000, 700,000, 800,000. I saw a deal at 8 point something percent on an $850,000 house. Boom! And they had good credit. They had money. They were self-employed. They were, you know, own their own business. Don't care. These guys were just getting taken to the woodshed. And it was mind-boggling thinking how much interest they were going to be paying. Like, the odds of foreclosure are going up exponentially on these because you're never going to pay anything towards the principal. And now, in defense, the Dave Ramseys of the world, they're wanting you to pay the mortgage off fast. They're wanting you to pay it off in a short amount of time. They're wanting you to think long term. And I totally agree. For me, I had a high interest rate when I bought my house, but I paid it off fast. Didn't matter. I paid way more each month on the note than what the note said, and I was able to build principal fast. Whereas with these notes, it's all interest, okay? And you're gonna have a huge payment comparatively what you could have bought a year ago. And it is just amazing. Go look at the pyramid or the scale of what the dollar used to buy. Go look at what it used to buy. What a dollar would get you 40, 50, 60 years ago. And then what it'll get you today. Great book out there, Creature from Jekyll Island. Go read it and you'll understand the monetary system. It'll open your eyes as to what has happened to the dollar. The fiat currency is getting crushed. It's getting inflated into oblivion by all these endless wars and Congress spending habits. I'm not going to go off on tangent in the political world, but if you read that book, it'll make a ton of sense. I'll link it in the comments below. It'll open your mind. Do Audible if you got to. It's 24 hours long on Audible, but you will understand the world once you read this book. Inflation, interest, fiat currency, and the way they pay for all this junk. It is the greatest thief of the American people ever is inflation. You're paying income tax, you're paying state income tax, you're paying sales tax on everything. You put the money in your savings account and they inflate it away. Right now, 8.3, 8.4%. Real rate, probably 10, 11%. Like, people should be furious about this. Absolutely furious about how their money is stolen from them at every angle. Now think about this. I told you in the last video about rug pull. They literally got us to overpay with inflation. They printed a bunch of money. They gave out a bunch of loans to equal out the fiat currency because it's just a debt note. You want to make more dollars, issue more debt. So it's on a big spreadsheet. And then they got everybody to pony up for these houses at 2%. And then Papa Powell comes in, raises interest rates, drives the market into the floor, rug pulls everybody in the stock market down 22%. Real estate market, who knows where it's going to go, down 30%, easy. What are you going to do? And everybody's like, cash is trash. Well, not when all the other assets out there to buy are going negative. They're reversing in value faster than the dollar is being inflated. Crazy scenario. So everybody's like, Jack, so what do you think is going to happen? Okay, I think the economy is going to shrink, and I know the financial advisors out there are going to lose their mind over me. I got an argument with one in a bar the other day because they didn't like my thoughts, but I'm backing it up with data. What I'm saying is real, and what I'm saying, I'm like the only one out here just venting of what I'm seeing that nobody else wants to say it. All the other agents don't want to say it because they just want to sell houses. And I'm like, you know what? Like, let's be honest with people. Let's tell them what they actually should hear. And like, because the news isn't telling you. I think once these interest rates filter down, the labor market's going to get really shaky. What is a recession? Usually negative 3 million jobs. People are going to lose their jobs. I already heard that Johnson & Johnson was laying off salespeople. I've already heard that the mortgage world, y'all are toast because basically they hired all these people as for a crew to refinance. The refinance game is over. It's gone. Nobody's refinancing at 8%. Sorry. Or 10% or 11%. That is over. So they're going to jettison all those people. Real estate agents, if you couldn't make it in the last market, you're not going to make it in the new market. That is scary. That's bad. Insurance agents, your life's going to get really tough because they're changing the building code from all these national disasters. So that means some of these houses you're not going to be able to insure. I don't know what the government's going to do to come in and create a system that's going to facilitate homeowners insurance because you can't lend out. You can't close a deal on a loan without insurance. You can't owner finance things without insurance. You can't protect your money without insurance. So many questions. Contractors are way more expensive. The cost to own the property, maintenance it, floor it, roof it, appliance it, has all gone up. The lawyer has gone up. The accountant has gone up. It's wild. Jay Powell said lots of ground to cover here. They're still going to go up. Like, they're still going to raise rates. And we're going to go up until I think we see things really start to get painful, and then the jobless numbers start going up because that's a sign of the brake being put on enough, and then all of a sudden they start getting dovish. They start easing off on the rate pedal because they wanted a soft landing. Not going to be a soft landing. You can't have a soft landing. Our economy moves too fast. And we're going to see crazy stagflation. Go look at the cereal boxes. See how much air is in those cereal boxes. You're going to see a cereal box that is the exact same size, but with 3/4 the amount of stuff in it. Okay? We're already seeing that. Potato chips. We're seeing it in ketchup. We're seeing it. Vinegar is one that's mind-boggling. I can't believe vinegar is like a shortage now, and it's going up in price, doubling. Go look in Target. Go watch them late at night changing those stickers. They're doing it like daily. They're just taking one sticker off, putting another with a new price. I mean, normal household products are up 30%. It's wild. So what should you do? Buy down your points. Basically, negotiate into the deal the best you can. Have a great real estate agent. Don't hire like just somebody that's related to you or your Aunt Sally's best friend. Okay? Hire a good one because they will get you these deals with their network and the people they know and their negotiation skills and their contract writing skills. Get a good real estate agent. Go to the best, hire them, do your best to keep them sane, don't make them mad, be qualified, have a pre-approval letter before you get there, and use a good one. You might have to put more down to get a better rate. You might have to pay it off early, or you might have to negotiate, hey, well, I'm gonna need a roof in 5 years. I can get a roof now, and they're willing to pay for a roof. There's 25 grand. Like, things like that, like, oh, well, the septic tank's going bad. If you'll replace the septic tank, I'll pay you this amount. And then, negotiate somehow to where it's all wound up in the loan and boom, you're winning. Like, just figure out a way to win. And we're going to have to batten down the hatches because it just almost is what it is. People got to have houses. People are going to move. Lives are going to change. And we'll do the best we can with what we got. And if you happen to be buying or selling on the Gulf Coast of Florida, Alabama, My email is down below. Love to help. Sorry for the crazy rant. My blood pressure is like out the window right now. And I would love to help people move to the Gulf Coast or help them with these issues, because it takes a good team to get this thing done. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Comment down below with what you're seeing, feeling, if I'm a bad person, if I'm not, if you like me, you don't like me, if you don't like Jerome Powell, cool. If you think things are going to change, that's cool too. Comment down with whatever you want. Let's have a discussion. See you guys on the next video.